Hey everybody, this is Brandon Hill with Dental Nachos, otherwise known as Nacho Man with Dental Nachos. And I'm happy because it's Monday. It's Monday and it's still August and it's still summer. So I know a lot of you are getting in your last minute vacations and beach time and fun and all the cool things you do during the summer. It's been an interesting summer, just like it's been an interesting year, but never a dull moment in the life of Dental Nachos or just dentisting. Love that word in general. So this is end of summer guac, right? With the Dental Nachos team. So this is like your end of summer guacamole topping where we're going to talk about some cool things and we're going to have some cool guests that can really give us some great advice on things related to money, morale, and marketing, right? 3 M's, money, morale, and marketing. We all care about money. We'd be lying if we said we didn't. We definitely care about morale. When we think about it, we should be caring about that even more than money. And marketing ties into all that stuff. So we've got some great guests, and I'm going to bring them up to talk to us today. The first guest we have is Dave Gibb. Dave Gibb is from Legally Mine. Legally Mine is actually an awesome key resource and sponsor of Dental Nachos. So Dave, come on up. We're happy to have you today. I feel like you're like one of my new best friends in the Dental Nachos world. I've met you recently. I've gotten to hear you share your expertise and advice in person. Now we're doing it in the virtual world, but it's always great to talk to you and great to have you. How you doing today, Dave?
Great to be here, Brandon. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's like I said, it's Monday and it's still summer and it's still August, and I'm going to savor these last moments of summertime as much as I can.
Oh yeah, I'm down with that.
So talk to us a little about who you are, and what you do with Legally Mine and how you help dentists.
Well, I am the managing director of Legally Mine, and dentists are a huge demographic in our firm here. But the biggest thing that we really look for with our groups that we talk to are ways that we can go right along with what you're talking about here today, is ways that we can save some money. And the way that you save money that we're looking at right now between now and the end of the year would be through tax savings.
Right. We love taxes, right? I've heard some expressions about taxes and dying. I mean, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's fun to talk about, but I guess it's inevitable, right? So
I know we've got to talk about it. It's that's the thing that people have to understand, with just the world we're in right now, we're told, at least through the administration's actually coming out and telling us this, that, the biggest tax hike in history is coming up. Yeah. It's going to happen, and we can sit back and let that happen and not prepare for it, or we can do something about it. But take that out of the equation. Let's look and see what we can do between now and the end of the year that it can actually save you some taxes. So when you go to pay your taxes next year, you can be in a position to save a little money. And I've got some ideas for you on that.
Very cool. And this is why people like you, Dave, because you take something that no one ever likes to deal with, taxes, and you make it feel a little less painful, right? Anytime you can put money back in people's pockets or prevent it from going out in the first place. So let's kind of make it really easy for our audience today. And I'm going to do this with everybody, but what's one thing, at least one thing that everybody listening can do right now to help them with their taxes or help keep more money in their pocket or help them before the end of this year?
I've got a really simple deduction that everyone could take. Honestly, it's more difficult for the W-2s to do this. This is going to be practice owners that you could literally take this right now between now and the end of the year and save you probably about $10,000 in taxes. For a W-2, we got to get more creative with it. And if at this point, if you haven't created any kind of entities or anything to run something through as far as for tax purposes, you're going to pay the taxes, and there's not much we can do about it. It's just what it is. W-2s, you understand, you're the worst tax group in the United States. And you probably see it every week when that check comes in, but there are things you can do, but you have to prep for it. You have to, and get prepared for that. What the first thing I'm going to focus on though, is what you can do if you are a practice owner, or if you already have an entity set up. And that's a deduction that I've been using for about 10 years now. It's IRS Section 288G. Now, IRS Section 288G was put into place about 40 years ago in 1984 for the 1984 Olympics. It was put into place. It allowed people, when they came in from out of town, they were able to rent people's homes up to 14 days and not claim that as income, the people that rented the home out. It's a great situation for people in LA. They were able to do that. Congress allowed that to happen. My aunt, for example, here in Utah, where I'm from, we had the Salt Lake City Olympics in 2002, and she rented out one bedroom of her home for $1,000 a day, made 14 grand over a 2-week period, didn't have to pay taxes on that. Great situation for her. But most of us don't have an Olympics in our backyard, right? Number one. Number two, a lot of us don't want to rent our home to people we don't know. So it's not a very practical solution. But we were talking to a tax strategist, and this is quite a while back. And they said, use that deduction to rent your home to your business for business meetings. Okay, as a business owner, you're required to have at least one meeting every year. The IRS says you can hold as many meetings as you'd like. You can do, but you have to be reasonable with it. And one a month is very reasonable to hold a meeting. So 12 meetings you could very easily hold every year. Maybe throw an extra one on Christmas or the 4th of July or something like that. You can get 14 meetings in. Right. Now, based upon that, and you're supposed to meet, it's required by the government that you're supposed to meet. Don't meet at your office. Don't meet at a hotel. Don't meet at a restaurant. Those cost you money. Okay, well, that's fine. Take that money, spend it on yourself, rent the home to your entity, to your business. Now you don't have to claim that as income as long as you don't rent out the home more than 14 times a year. And literally it becomes a deduction. Most people are going to take about 50 cents a square foot on their home. That's the national average. Okay. So you're talking about a 4,000 square foot home. That's a $2,000 price tag you can put on that home. Do it 14 times. That's a $28,000 deduction. Now, depending on your tax bracket, most people that I'm talking to on the phone here are going to save at least $10,000 doing something that the IRS is requiring you to do, and that's to have your business meetings. Now, what I mean by business owners are going to be able to benefit by this between now and the end of the year is you can backdate some of these meetings as well. You can look at your calendar, look back and see if maybe there's something you could have worked in there, and you can play with it a little bit that way. But for sure, moving forward between now and the end of the year, you can put those meetings into place and take advantage of this deduction.
See, that's great advice for a couple of reasons. One, every time I hear you talk, I feel like I and the people listening to you learn something very valuable. So that's always great. And that's why we love having you as a resource in our crew. The other thing is, I'm a big Olympics fan. I'm a big track and field fan. Okay. And, shouts out to Team Jamaica, who's been kicking our butts for like the last 2 years. But you brought me back to 1984. That was Carl Lewis days. That's back when America did their thing. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, that was the glory days of American Olympic track and field. So it's nice to know this is something that existed and can bring us back to 1984. So thank you. It's been a long time.
Congressmen have been taking advantage of this for 40 years. They're not going to change it because it's a great deduction for people. It's right on the books. You can look it up right online. Look it up in the big thick manual. If you know somebody that has access to the IRS code book, these are straightforward. It's a straightforward deduction, easy to take.
Very, very good advice. And listen, obviously we can't keep you here forever because I know you have tons of gems, but you can learn so much more from Dave and his team at Legally Mine. Text legal, the word legal, very simple, to 215-543-6454. That's legal, to 215-543-6454. I know Ariel and other people in the Dental Nachos team are going to be putting information in the comments if you're watching on Facebook Live, and links that you can get to get in contact with Dave and his team. But how can people reach out to you directly, Dave, if they want to learn more?
Well, I would honestly say go the route you're talking about there, because we're giving a free what we call a risk assessment. We're doing it because of our association with Dental Nachos. We usually charge about $1,000 for that. So it's definitely something to go through that way. If you come directly through us, we can still do it. It's just going to cost you money. But you can definitely reach out on our website and go to legallymine.com, get in the chat feature there, reach out to us that way, or just schedule a free consultation.
You heard the man, everybody. You're getting $1,000 free value for texting legal to 215-543-6454, or there is a direct link of that Dental Nachos has. It's also going to be in the comments. That'll get you that same deal. So thanks, Dave, once again. Hang around, put some information, some extra advice in the Dental Nachos group for us. That I know you have a lot of insight to share, and we really appreciate you every single time.
Sounds great, Brandon. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you. That was great, everybody. So